Let's build a dim bulb tester. All you need is a strong thick cable with ground. This is a German plug, and then we cut it apart. This part is not used anymore or not needed anymore. You need a switch, a socket, that's again a German one. Guess where we are. Just plugs in like this. You'll need a light bulb socket, either a big one like this or a small one for the small bulbs, but they are more common. You need the screw-on rings for this thing, and of course a box to pull all in. And yeah, you don't get them here in the US, but they're here. But I'm sure you can find something similar. So, I drilled some holes after some measuring. I did use a hole saw, but you can use anything. This was just a drill and filed wider. Another one here, a bit smaller. And I didn't show the measuring process because, well, they're all different. And in the US you won't have much use for the measurements of a German socket. So, now let's put this all together. So, now let's remove the insulation from the wire, and that's actually quite easy. You just cut carefully into it. Repeat till it's open. This is open already. Once you can get a hold of one of the wires, you just hold the insulation and pull the wire down. It rips the insulation open. At least with the thinner cables. This is a bit of a thick one. Just peel the cables to the side. And then we can just take the pliers to cut away the insulation. Simple. And then we take this tool here to grab, push and pull. You grab, you push and you pull. Yeah, this is actually quite a vintage one. So, we're going to the wiring now, so let me show you how it works. We have our power plug that plugs into the wall. We have two cables. The one cable goes into the light bulb and then goes out again of the light bulb and runs to a second plug where something else plugs in, something you want to test, like an old tube TV or something like this. One of those connects here and the other wire connects here. So as soon as it shorts, the circuit closes and the light goes on. What we put in here is a switch that allows us to bypass this part. This here will be the switch. So we can bypass the light bulb so the current flows directly. Got it? It's actually quite easy. You will see it is easy. So, to the wires. This one here, yellow and green, is ground. And those are the two phases. just twist them, but I have a tutorial on soldering them. The ground will be directly connected to the ground of the outlet. So no modifications here, this is just running it through. So now let's screw it down. Make sure it's really clamped in there. Maybe reopen it a bit and mesh it in. It's really meant for solid wires instead of the string wires here. It's from the time when metal was cheap and we used the best stuff. So just screw it down and always pull in it to make sure connection is good and secure. And we do now install a different wire, this one here, that goes to the light bulb socket on the other side. So brown wire and ground are now connected to the socket, just going over this. The blue wires are now here. So what we have to do is quite simple, because these are now the wires that lead to the light bulb. We just put them into here and connect them together. Then it's all wired except of the switch. This goes then in between light bulb, like I showed you here. It just jumps the light bulb and allows the current to flow directly from plug to socket. For the installation of the switch we have to put in a shorter brown wire. You can of course use every color, but it helps to stick with one scheme to make it easier. Always check if the connection is good. And now that's what we have. If we touch those wires together now, current flows normally from from this plug to this plug. So that's like an extension cord. But what we do now is we add not only the switch in, but also the light bulb. This is quite an old-fashioned type of connector, not really used in most modern applications. They have this easy snap together things, but I like the old ones more. They come in a big strip and you just clip off what you need. So let's put this in here and screw it down. Because with the modern ones you can't put two cables in them. Always make sure it's nice and tight. You see, two going in here. Simple and easy. So now what we're doing is we're adding this cable in here and screwing it down and then connecting the rest of it, including the switch, and I show you how it looks when it's finished. So the next step is now to, let me show you here how this is wired. I have used one of those earth cables. I had as a scrap, but it should actually be brown, as well as this here, to wire to our bypass switch. Here, let me show you a bit closer. See? Yeah. Okay, multimeter in continuity mode. Switch this off. Nothing. We go in here and we go to the prong, off, on. See, the bypass switch works. I know it's complicated, but that's why I have drawn the little schematic. So, tools by side, and now let's start assembling. This one is a bit too big, so I already left it in here, and it's just plopped through this here, and then this ring screws on it. I take it with the side down to down. And I will take it apart once again to spray paint it, but now just to show you how it will be assembled. So that's nice, that's not. Just make sure it's all the way down. Then I take this little thing because it looks good, and I'm screwing it on top of here. It's just as decoration, but I like it. Now to the rest of it. We have to stuff this all to the hole, especially the cable. But I have to make sure it fits through it. So, see, all goes through this little hole, including our switch. The rest of it, just like this. See, beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. So let's screw this together. So now the switch goes to the hole. We got an indentation here on the switch for on and off. So let's put off down. That makes it easier when we later use it. And of course, bumping the camera always helps to improve the video quality. Oh, let's do this off camera. So, switch installed. Now, let's install the socket. So, let's start screwing the socket itself in. First side, we have to flip a little tab up so it grabs when it gets screwed down. Try to have it as straight as possible, and then we can start screwing it tight. So I have installed it diagonally because bigger plugs won't fit this way, so you can put them this way. Yeah, that's addictive. So now the faceplate. Let's make it look pretty. The faceplate goes on very easy, just with one single screw. Let's count the comments how often I've bumped the camera this time. There we go. Doesn't this look good? Yeah. And in case you're wondering about the power cable, it is designed so you can put it in here when you store it away. And when you use it, you just put it in this little hole I filed in here and slide the bottom, this one used to be the top, back in. And so it's finished now. A dim light bulb tester. Oh, smoking is deadly. Habanos. Yeah. Cuban cigars are one of those things we get here in Germany because we don't have any sanctions against Cuba, unlike the US. Yeah, let me show you how it looks when it's finished. And so, this is what it looks now. Finished. And if we plug something in that's a dead short, like my test wire here, be careful with this kind of stuff, we see that the bulb fully lights up. And pressing the bypass switch now would just result in blowing my light bulb out. Or, no, not blowing the light bulb out, blowing my fuse out, because the light bulb is then bypassed. So don't do this. On means it's bypassed, off means it's safe. And yeah, there are things that I will add, like a neon indicator bulb showing it's running, probably under this here, that it close out of this, and a fuse, but I didn't have a screw-in fuse holder and I didn't want to solder one in. That's not how you do it. But yeah, that's it now. Also, you can store the bulb inside, and of course the cable, and stuff like this Germany US adapter. Yeah, don't press the switch when it's on. It's when nothing is plugged in, and when it's short. So this is how it's connected. The non-permanent line is just the ground, going to the ground, because light bulbs don't need ground. And yeah, the rest, here's the switch. Put it a bit closer, you can see it. That's what you plug into test, or to reform capacitors or something. And this is the wall. Yeah. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I think this thing looks really neat. And yeah, probably I will give it a spray paint coat. If so, I will add the part spray painted and show it you in all glory. But this is it finished as a working test station. And now you can of course hit the switch and nothing happens because nothing is plugged in. But don't hit the switch when it is shorted, otherwise you just trip your breaker. And we shouldn't forget to show you how the inside looks with the cable folded in. Just put it in where it fits without being in the way, and of course you can also add your light bulb, maybe even 2 light bulbs if you try to fit it a bit closely. You can of course use one of the smaller sockets and then you have more space, but yeah. Once everything is in, you just take this and carefully slide the cover back on, and you have everything packed inside. The rattling thing is the US German adapter, and yeah, neat, isn't it? So much more convenient than my old one. And it got a bypass switch. We got the breakout for the cable. We got the plug sideways, so the bigger plugs don't stick up or stick down. Very neat. Yeah, like I said, I really need to add some stuff like a fuse holder. I like to have this, and maybe even a voltage gauge and a neon indicator bulb to show it is powered on. But that's easy stuff that I just have to order. So, and here's the finished product now. Just screw in the light bulb on top and it's good to go. You can plug something in, and like I said, it plugs in sideways, so you don't have to have your cable stick up or stick down where it's not really fitting. And as a little addition, I have now here the other mentioned parts. Here on the left, a little neon bulb indicator, a vintage one, to show us that it is plugged in, and a little fuse holder. And you solder this in just in front of the bypass switch, because you don't need a fuse as long as you have the light bulb, but you need a fuse if you bypass the light bulb, if it should snap, if something shorts, because then the light bulb isn't there to protect it anymore. To install it, you simply drill a hole, stick it through and tighten it like the switch, and then screw, or in this case solder it in between, after or before the switch. And this just goes between the mains inputs, meaning just directly always connected to this cable, not interfering with the rest of it. And another thing you may have noticed is I have decided not to spray paint it, but to remove the labels. I think well, that's excellent wood and it looks good, so I kept it like it was, not spray painting. You can of course spray paint it if you want. I may give it a clear spray paint coat, but I like the wood and the color, so I keep it. Yeah, but now you know how to make a dim light bulb tester.